He kept ducking me for a second. He's joining in with us. um, it's normal. I don't gotta try to just go with the flow like we normally do it. That way everything feel normal.
Oh, yeah. Judges chapter 16, verse 1. Judges chapter 16, verse 1. Then went Samson to gather and saw there a harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gadites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city. They were quiet all the night, saying, in the morning when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city and the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron. Ever. The gate put on his shoulder and walk. You know, verse 4. And it came to pass after that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek.
Damn. That was hitting me. The thought of this shit. Man. The thought of like breaking iron, carrying, like you just I don't know. Man. I don't know. It just hit me late. I'm like,
Like I said, just imagine if you see this dude. You already know how like how they got pictures with captains and shit, right? And you know how they gates is. Them ain't no small gates. He said post and all. He did a post and all, put on his shoulders and walking up the hill. Now it ain't like it's bad enough that he picked up the whole thing, but he going uphill. Verse 4. And it came to pass after that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict me. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green whips that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green whips, which had not been dried, and she bound them with them. Now there were men lying in wait, and binding with her in the chamber. And she said unto them, the Philistines be upon Samson, and he brake the whips as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire. So his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took the ropes and bound him therewith and said unto him, the Philistines be upon you since. And there were lions and weights abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arm like a thread. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be found. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web, and she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon you, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep, and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth.
Like me, I mean, this is like a highlight to me, but it makes me mad.
Yes.
Kind of like after you tested her the first time and gave her the BS, and she came back and tried to run it on you.
Mm-hmm.
You should have known right then and there. This is poison. Like she ain't. And what did he do? Kept on. Eventually, he does what the Bible tells men not to do. Tell all his damn heart. Idiot. I don't know. It make me mad, man. It make me mad, but it's.
It made me mad too. So I'm like, why did you do this, man? You let a woman go down. At the end of the day, that's what it was. Because I'm like, you told her the first thing. You told the first part about the what you call it? Yeah, the river. So the first wife about the river. What happened? She told the river. Now you got to go through. You got to go through with that. Now the life. Now she said, and
She actually trying to fulfill the
yeah,
things to destroy you.
and you blind. Like you blind. It ain't happened once, or twice, or 3 times. You gave up 4 times. It's over.
But this is the deuce. It's like, man, where it be so weak when it comes to women. And then we watch that even without people. Like, I'm gonna tie this to everybody for a second. Um, the main thing that you see with people that's gonna cause me fall is that not being able to just suffer through stuff. Um, some people too weak to cut off somebody that's no good for them. They can't deal with that, that little bit of that pain that come in when it's like you miss this person, or they can't just go through that for that moment. And that's how you see how people desire fall to their lust, to sin, all type of stuff. They can't. They don't have that. It's like it's just something about that strength, something that you need to just sit through for a time being. Now you go back to him. Samson got thing. He just and this is why it's such a big story, because you're looking at a man where when you talk about Samson, everybody talk about the strength he had. When you read the story, it's like, damn, he was this strong as man, but then it's like weak. Yeah. Weak, but you just can't. It's like, damn, it's so, because you're reading about a man so strong, but so weak. His weakness. Right? How many brothers we read in the scriptures you done seen fall behind the beauty of a woman, or just a woman, period? Bingo. The scripture said, it's that second measures. Second Ezra's. I'm trying to find it real quick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it first? Is it first Ezra? It might be first. Yeah, it had to be first. First Ezra chapter 4, verse 27.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 27. First Ezra chapter 4, verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women.
Mm. So many have perished. That's what that word perished right there. They done died. Many have died and have erred and sinned for women. Mm. That's what you see. Samson's story. Why? Verse 18.
Verse 18. Verse 18. Yeah, and if men have gathered together gold and silver or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty?
Because of that love, what happens? Jump back down to the verse we just read. Because of that love and that beauty for women, it's telling you, man, to go rant, rave, steal, bring forth all this fortune and accumulate all this wealth and status and everything, all to present it at what? The beauty of a woman.
Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women.
25.
Verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother.
Read that verse again.
Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women.
That is Samson.
Yeah, also it says, says, like the scripture says, they do not turn your way to seek love. So that was just what he was saying, verse 8. Then he died, and have died here in sin, for the love of woman. And so, like the scripture says, don't turn your way to seek love.
Remember, he in your role. Remember, that's why it mentions it. Like when we get down to the meat of it, you're gonna see that Samson did. He did what he wasn't supposed to do. As men, I know we love, and wives, y'all understand this. We love to talk to y'all at times. Some brothers they enjoy pillow talking, but the Bible told him he's not supposed to tell all his heart. And he does. It's gonna make you look at him different. I know it sounds crazy, but it's gonna happen. Um, what it's you gonna see. Watch when we read as he keep reading, you gonna see it's gonna say clear as day. He told her all his heart.
Judges chapter 16 and verse 15.
Why did I bring that up? Because it goes into criminal ways. I was talking about, men love a woman to the point where he'll start erring.
Judges chapter 16 and verse 15.
And you see, Salakia, you see how she playing it with him too. She playing on this. She trying to tug on them strings. You keep lying to me. She making it as if like almost what you call gaslighting. She gaslighting is I know I'm wrong for what I'm doing, but I'm gonna make you feel wrong for me doing wrong to you. So right, like it's like I know that I'm only trying to figure out how to make you weak to destroy you. So now that you won't tell me how to make you weep, look how you do me. If you love me, you wouldn't hide anything from me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh God. Y'all want to hear what Reuben said? I'm gonna pull up Reuben. I'm gonna read about Reuben.
Judges chapter 16, verse 15. Judges chapter 16, verse 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death. So this woman is nagging him daily.
Mm-hmm.
What? He doesn't kick ass out. She's nagging him to death. I mean, nagging him so much, it makes his soul to death. You know how much? What? I don't know how to explain that.
Work it on them. Hey, let the scripture say, because we can see, and by the way, I gotta throw this out there. I know we've been doing it. So I used to like that name Delilah too. I did. I used to like that name. I remember the first time I heard it, but I didn't hear it from the Bible. I heard it from somewhere else. It was probably a Lion King or something. I don't know. But I don't know where I heard the name from, but I heard the name Delilah. The first time I heard it, probably was somebody talking about the Bible. I just overheard it. I was like, I'm gonna name my daughter that. My daughter name gonna be named Delilah. But then once I got older and started knowing the Bible, I said, oh hell no. Read that part again though. It's something that hit my mind. I was gonna say I just had Delilah thought threw me out.
All right, verse 16. Judges chapter 16, verse 16. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death.
Oh, yeah. It's a scripture that talks about that wicked woman that all the time. Nah, I want the one about she only good for one thing.
Oh, right away the enemy.
I know it's inside Iraq. Let me check the 20. 27, 26, 27.
Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 27. Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 27. A loud crying woman and a stove shall be sought out to drive away the enemy.
Let's say a loud crying woman ain't good for nothing except for what?
Driving away the enemy.
That's what she's driving motherfucker away. When you got bill collectors steady blowing your phone up, you get her the phone. When people come to the door that you don't want at the door, you send her to the door.
Right.
But when she didn't drive away Samson's enemy. She was his enemy. And she drove him till he became his own enemy. Right. So she drove him away from himself. That's crazy, man. Woo! But it said beta. What else her mouth do? Get that 25. You saw right real quick. You saw right 25. And oh no. This is what Solomon. This is what Samson supposed to do. Start at 24.
Sirach chapter 25 verse 24. Sirach chapter 25 verse 24.
What's up?
Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage.
So that's what he should have understood. It says, of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all died, because that's what he should have realized. And once he understood that, and he saw this woman nagging him to death about what's the weakness, how can I bound you? Like the question she's asking, why you want to know how to hurt me?
Right.
She asking these questions instead. The moment you saw that pillow talking will stop, boy. he said, through her we all die. So obviously she's trying to figure out how to destroy you. Only thing that come of that is death. In daytimes. Remember, it wasn't too much of this there's always petty stuff going, but normally the results will bring your ass to a death, especially when you're dealing with unjust people.
Right.
So once you see that, it says neither give the water no passage, meaning it's time to seal her lips. Stop her from talking. Stop all these. You know, you should stop all asking all these goddamn questions.
Right.
He should have muted it. That's the end of that. Then it says, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad. This woman got too much goddamn freedom to be running to your enemies, coming back to you, running back to your enemies, coming back to you. This is too much damn freedom here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a tender D. That's what they say, though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's a tender D. Yeah. Hey, y'all know where we at. So this dude here, I don't, man, he been listening to too much smooth booty or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. He get done wrong one relationship, ran right to the next one and did worse. Didn't learn from the first one. He's a sister in Israel. I have a sister in Israel. He probably had a headache, but he's been all right. So it says, give her no liberty to gather abroad. Now, of course, this is talking about cut off, make it tight, because water can't any little seep, anything, water gonna seep through it. So this means you need to shut up, make her shut her mouth, cut off some of these questions, and ain't no more running abroad around here. And if she wouldn't do that, cut her from his flesh. But Samson be tripping, man. Samson tripping, man. Samson tripping.
Show y'all what happened.
Samson was tripping, but like I told you, this story it heats me up. That's why I think I done woke up a little bit. It kind of heat me up when he do this stuff. But all right, where we was at?
Judges 16, verse 16.
Oh yeah, 16.
Yep.
Sure. All right.
Judges chapter 16 and verse 16.
Hold on. My mind running. My mind running. My mind running. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to think. I want it. Run back to 14.
Judges chapter 16 to verse 14. And she fastened it with the pin and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awakened out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth.
Oh, you go ahead.
And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. So he told her all his heart. Told her everything, still thinking. what she did. Verse 18.
Watch this. Hold on. Proverbs 7. Proverbs chapter 7. Verse 21.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 21. Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 21. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield.
She caused him a what?
To yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him.
And what did he do?
Verse 22. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter.
You see what he did? Blindly went in. She after nagging him along, didn't hit the speech. What he do? Yield. He was coming. First, he was like you were saying. He toyed with her. He wasn't telling her his weaknesses. But by you toying with her, you just saw she was really trying to destroy you. And then she comes and give you, oh, you do this, you. And what he do? That fair speech. He followed right behind. He went right into it, going just like a damn ox right into slaughter. Because that's exactly what he did. Walked himself right into his own death.
Or as a fool to the correction of the star.
Say what?
Or as a fool to the correction of the star.
As a fool. Like a goddamn fool. To the correction of the
stars.
Trick. Actually, it get me boiling a little bit. It's like when it says to the correction of the stocks. Y'all so you can get it. It's like in deer trapping, because you know it's hunting and it's deer trapping. In deer trapping, they put like, you know what they call a noose. They put a noose out, and the deer blindly steps into it, and it locks it down. So when it says like a deer stepping into the correction stock, it's saying like a deer stepping into a noose. He walked right into it like it wasn't there. All right, we'll go back to Samson.
So Judges chapter 16 and verse 18. Judges chapter 16 and verse 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the Lord of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict, and his strength went from him. And she said, the Philistines be upon me sent. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out at other times before and shake myself. And he wished not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. So now he told this woman all his heart. She did it. You see, if he told her the truth.
And then when it got
then when it got then these people spoke out his go, they said, God, what? They said, God died. Yep. So they took his eyes out.
You'll never see again.
All because you told him all your heart. You gave in. Even though she showed you the signs that she couldn't trust. He said, well, verse 20. Verse 20. And she said, the Philistines be upon him, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times, before and shake myself. And he was not that the Lord will depart from him.
See what happened when you break them laws? The Lord departs from you. That's what. Now, this is, y'all know every story. Remember, I told you look at it from multiple angles. We're looking at it direct right now, Samson's foolishness and the wickedness of the woman and everything else. But the other side that you gotta see this from on the spiritual side is, what is our strength? And right, the word. His word is our strength. If we depart from weak, Samson's strength was in the laws because there was a law that the Nazarites should never cut their hair. Well, the moment he departed from the law, the Spirit of the Lord departed from him. It's like it's though we read and we see it so as the example that's used. I always remember the spiritual side of it. Samson left the law. With the law, basically, he was without that strength because he was no longer within the law. And then, of course, the plethora of other things. What did the Lord tell us? Not to marry other nations because they would what? That end, they would be a snare and a trap. Trying to recall in my head where it's at. Go ahead for a second. Look. Just do whatever you're gonna do. I'm following. I'm just joining in.
Verse 21. It says, but the Philistines took him and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gath, and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaved. I think what you're looking at, what that about
No, not that one. I ain't pulled it in so long, so I can't. It's like three spots in my head, but I don't want to call all three out. Right. So now he's starting to come back into the law, which is same thing with us. Sometimes we be in this walk and we go strong, and then we get distracted or something like that, start getting weak, and then somehow you get called, pulled back in, you start strengthening back up. And then it become a story that we tell to the next week. Man, I remember this time in the truth, such. You know what I'm saying? If you make it through. You will never make it through.
verse 23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto the Dagon their God, and to rejoice. For they said, our God hath delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised their God. For they said, our God hath delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made him sport. And they set him between the pillars.
All right. For a second, brief second. Let's get Joshua 23. Y'all forgive me. I had to take us back for a second. I couldn't remember where it was at. It's like Joshua 23. And
Joshua chapter 23 and verse 11. Joshua chapter 23 and verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you,
right. So these ain't our people it's talking about. It's talking about other nations amongst the same thing in Samson's case. It was other women of other nations. Now, only an idiot would sit here and tell you that every woman is ugly except for the women of Israel. Only an idiot would tell you that because we know clearly our forefathers was going out, they was doing foolishness. So these women look good. But as today, you living, you know you seeing some good looking other women, but stay away from them. Anywho, get back to this point. Samson case, not Samson. Well, yes, Samson case because we were ordered one thing. So when we go amongst these other nations, just like today, you in this land, and this we in a melting pot full of other nations. Man, if I don't want to talk to us because keep it to the story. All right, so the Lord told us when we go amongst these other nations, when we get to these lands and there's other nations amongst us, the Lord said, do not cleave to them, do not make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you. But they shall be snares and traps unto you.
They shall be who?
Snares and traps unto you.
What did we just see happen with Samson?
He got trapped.
She was definitely a snare and a trap. The worst part is she didn't even try to hide it with him. Right. Leave unto him, and you should they shall become a trap. All right. You go back and knock out.
Back in Judges chapter 16, we're going to go back to 25. Judges chapter 16, verse 25. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport. And they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of man and woman, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women, that behold, while Samson made sport. So, first, like, when it comes to Samson making sport, this is the same thing they did to us when we were in slavery. That we had to make sport until the other nations, the nation as well, when they were doing slavery. So that this just shows you who he is. It's just a repeat thing.
Yeah, that's the key point you pointed out. It makes sport. It's like for the entertainment.
Yeah.
As, like entertainment. Scriptures started right in my head. I'm trying to place it. No, this was Psalms. Lord's will. Lord's will it will be. Mm. It's about the entertainment. It's like, I'm just trying to remember. I know it's in Psalms. Is it in Psalms? I'm trying to think. I want to keep going. I'm gonna find it. I think I know what you're talking about. Like Maccabees or something.
Judges chapter 17 and verse 27. Well, go back to 26. Judges chapter 16 and verse 26. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon it. Now the house was full of men and women.
Go to Psalms 137 real quick. Yeah, forgive us. Like, well, forgive me. I'm the one intruding. And start at verse. I'm looking at the wrong page. Oh, okay, there we go. Watch this. Start at verse 1.
Psalm chapter 137 and verse 1. Psalm chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remember Zion.
Right. So by the rivers of Babylon, just like here in America, by the rivers of Babylon, we wept. We sat and we cried when we remember Zion, our homeland. Remember Israel, the people. So it's like, just to break down real quick. All right. So now it says we broke down and we cried when we remember Zion. That could be home in us as a people here in this land, Babylon. Same thing. Go ahead.
We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
It says hung our harps on the midst of the willows. The reason why it's using willows because if you see the willow tree, it's normally kind of like slumped. It's supposed to be like they normally use a willow because of the slopiness of it. That's like down, depressed, and it normally slopes over. Go right. Go ahead.
For there they that carry us away captive.
Just like they carried Samson away captive after they finally cut his locks and bounded him, they carried him away captive. Same way they carried us away captive when they captured us and brought us to this wicked ass land. Go ahead.
Required of us a song.
They required entertainment, a song. Go ahead.
And they that wasted us.
And they that killed us.
Required of us mirth.
Mirth. They require mirth of us. Mirth is laughter, entertainment. They wanted us to entertain for them, make them laugh, and also sing those nigger spirituals from Zion. Same thing they doing to Samson now. They want mirth out of him. So let's make entertainment of him. Get us laughter from him. That's what I want to bring out on it. Time. Christ.
So back in Judges, chapter 16, and verse 27. Judges chapter 16 and verse 27. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld while Samson made sport. And Samson called unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up.
Now, what Samson just did, and what you see getting ready to happen, is what it's a triple fold if you want to break it down, because you got I'm in trouble, now call on the Lord. You got in the time of trouble, call on the Lord. And then you got the response. Get Psalms 50 real quick. So it's a threefold. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the, oh, I could call on the, in your trouble, you will seek me early. Then you got the, no, in your time of trouble, cleave unto me, call on me. And then you got the results, which is Psalms 50, which is what we see Samson just did right now. It's Psalms 50 and 15.
Psalm chapter 50 and verse 15. Psalm chapter 50 and verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble.
Do what?
And call upon me in the day of trouble.
Samson was in trouble. He was bound. It was all over pretty much. Uh, in the midst of them trying to make sport of him, he calls on the Lord. Go ahead.
I will deliver you.
Then the Lord said, what?
I will deliver you.
So in the time of your in the day of your trouble, call on the Lord, and I will deliver thee. And what happened?
And thou shalt glorify me.
And thou shalt glorify me. This is what happened. Samson called on the Lord in the time of trouble. The Lord answered. And instead of Samson just going down as, because that story could just ended terrible. He told the woman the thing and he got slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? In the end, Israel, we still live to tell the story. Look what our Lord did. And our Lord showed out because he said, in the midst of all they gods in there. Notice every time the Lord destroys some shit, he makes sure all they gods is present.
Oh, yeah.
Because I God want to show you, yeah, I'm big shit.
So break they die or what? They whatever.
Remember, when he killed Egypt, what did he do? Destroy every last one of their gods first. With every plague, he was destroying one of their gods. And then he went ahead and wiped them out. You know what I'm saying? Same thing here. He said, all they gods present. And then Samson calls on the Lord. The Lord does exactly what Psalms 50 and 15 said. And now we can glorify him.
Verse 29. Judges chapter 16, verse 29. And Samson took hold of the two little pillars upon which the house stood.
One more time. Sorry for interrupting. Get Jonah. Yep. Because we can't forget about Jonah. Especially when you're talking about calling in trouble. Jonah chapter 2, verse 1.
Jonah.
I'm having a hard time catching them too. Good looking on that one. Looking on that one. Hosea should be like right after Daniel.
All right.
Hold on. I found it and then lost it again. Hold on. After Amos. All right. 2 and start at 1.
Jonah chapter 2 and verse 1. Jonah chapter 2 and verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish belly.
So we can see clearly he is in a time of trouble here.
And said, I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord. And he heard. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. For thou hast cast me into the deep, in the midst of the sea, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over.
Jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came in unto thee, into thy holy temple.
No, that's all we really pretty much needed. I just want to show in this time of trouble. And then we all know the end results because did he make it out? There you go.
Back, Judges chapter 16, verse 29. Samson took hold of the two middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left. And Samson said, Let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might. And the house fell upon the Lord and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. And his brethren and all the house of his father came down and took him and brought him up and buried him between Zorah and Ashdod, in the burying place of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel 20 years. And that's the end of the story of Samson.
Yeah, Samson's story could have ended just like, damn.
Right.
But still brings a little glory in the end because the Most High. There's so much to learn in Samson's story.
You have to even look at it like this part. Because you know how we be beating ourselves up. We mess up or something like that. Samson did the same thing and just thought the Most High done with them, never called upon him.
Yep.
But Most High got us along. We willing to go ahead and change. So that if Samson never called upon him, he would just die there. He would just die there. But he called upon him. He feel sorry for himself.
That's the thing too. Because like, in a situation like that, it is so hard not to just feel sorry for yourself, to just be in that slump, to just sit in that depression and just like go on to death. Now he did walk right into it like the ox and like the deer, but ultimately the Lord let him. If you look at it, the Lord let him use his strength. The Lord basically let him instead of what I'm getting to is the Lord let him take himself out versus letting them take him out. And in the midst of it, yeah, you're gonna go, but I'm gonna let you take all of them with you. Because understand this, if you read in the Bible, and most people gonna probably try to disagree. If you read these scriptures and you really read it, you'll see that it seems like to our forefathers, suicide was better than the enemy's killing another nation. Think about it. Saul, when he was getting ready to die, what did he say? Man, take me out. Don't let them come and do it. Basically, but he was like, take me out because if they come and do it, he just wanted to go from. He would rather go out to his own than to have the outsiders kill him. So you get what I'm saying? Even when we read in the Apocrypha, when it looked like all was going to fail in the Maccabees, it was brothers that they went ahead and just committed suicide versus letting the heathens come and kill them. So it seems when we read it, the worst way to go out is to go to the enemy. And because of that, the way it seems, the Most High allowed Samson not to go out to the hands of the Philistines. But better yet, you'll take everybody out. Right. We see, instead of just putting them to death when they had them, what they was doing. Let's make sport of them. Yep. Now we poke this out. Now let's make sport of them. What does that sound similar to? When they got Christ, how did they do them? You know what I'm saying? When the enemies get hope to us, make mockery of us. What they say, oh, this is king of the Jews, the king of the flies, all of that shit. So, yeah, man, that's what. Hey, this was a pretty good. This was a pretty good one. I liked that one. Yeah. And now to any 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds who may just happen to watch this, or your parents may see this, and they may be. This right here is also a keen example of I know you think you know what you want. I know you think you know what you need. I know you think you know what you like. But it is imperative that you take out the fact that before Samson went to this woman, his parents told him, asked him, why won't you just find somebody? And it's showing you that you need that guidance of your parents when it comes to finding a spouse. Because you'll just go get what you like, and what you like is normally the most terrible thing for you. Right. Like I should eat a salad, but I want chicken wings. I want chicken wings. I want a burger on top of the wings. I want a burrito. I want some of the Southwestern egg rolls on top of all of it. But I should be eating a salad, maybe some grilled chicken. I'm getting hungry like right. Somebody told me I need to eat avocados, but I was also gonna ask um, if 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 possible. I think I need something warm. My throat. I don't know. Whatever y'all would recommend. Whatever y'all would recommend. I don't know. My throat is killing me. So, oh yeah, that wasn't part of class. I was. We do have we have the House of St. John's and his lovely wife. Chew ginger. That's why it works so good in that soup, ain't it? That's why it works so good in that soup. That homemade soup I used to make. Put all that damn ginger in it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just woke up and it was like almost feeling like a strip. Yeah. But not like recording, so I ain't been pushing. Ain't no telling that. Ain't no telling. But I know that might work though. I mean, that might be a problem too, because I tend to forget my cooler every time when I go cut yard and stuff. I don't know why I keep tripping. Y'all keep saying get that book bag thing, and I keep saying I'm gonna get it. I keep forgetting, and then I be out there about to feeling that good feeling again. I don't be mad about 3 days. What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I was like, nah, if y'all ain't coming to the hospital, they gonna have to look at my oh yeah. Yeah. Dang. Man. Out, man. I'm telling you, man. We gotta get some I talked to I talked to man, I talked to Kabosh, but not long. It was real brief. Um I gotta get back with him. He was in the middle of a live or something. I gotta get back with him. We'll figure out something a little bit. I might have to just pull up on him. I don't know. But I pray y'all to some feminists. This was yeah. You can read. Y'all damn sure better keep following along. Story times is good.
Well, it's a history book that was, and you got multiple examples. But that's why the Bible tells you that it ain't nothing new under the sun. Everything you go through, or everything you're gonna see is already here. So you have no excuse why you fell for that same foolishness.
Right.
Because you got everything here that says it says this what to avoid this, to avoid that scripture thing, how to take the friend, how to choose. What is a real friend? If the Bible tells you all this stuff, and that you can't blame anybody else.
Right. That's what I said in Romans 15, right? I pray y'all still following along, because I know some of y'all watched that boxing match and it was 3 hours long and you was able to stick it out. Some of y'all watching the NBA finals, that whole 2.5 hours, you can watch the whole game in the halftime show. That ain't right. But the moment I go over an hour, head counts go dropping. Let's get Romans 15. Yeah.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Exactly. Scriptures was written for our learning. Everything was written in it. That's why he says it's history, and it's also a instruction manual, and it's heads up. It's written for our learning. But how the hell you gonna get these learning? How you gonna get it if you ain't seeking it? That's why we get that Isaiah 34:16 real quick. And then you can finish that verse. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah chapter 43.
No. 34:16.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it has commanded.
Right.
And his spirit it has gathered.
That's the only way you're gonna get it. You can't be comfortable in a situation when it's brand new to you. You know what makes us comfortable about certain situations? Familiarity. Even when let's say you're getting ready to go through a situation you've never been through. People, especially if they can barely explain it, make you more comfortable and attuned to what's going to happen or to go through it. But that's because you got some type of information to you. Something was given to you. Well, life is given to us right here. But you got to seek it out first. You got to read it and understand if it's here, it's going to happen. And then we can understand that now that we've sucked it out, when we get back to Romans 15 and 4, written for our learning, now through all of that, we got what? Comfort in the situation. We got comfort in whatever's going on. This is why you need to be a part of a congregation. I'm gonna always say that. Don't listen to these cats out here telling you don't got to be a part of a camp or a congregation. Because out there in the world is performance. And here in the congregation is what? Practice, rehearsal, correction. It's everything to get you. This is exercise. Bingo. Give me Hebrews 5 and 14. There's no way you can go execute with it until you have come in here, built up the muscles by the exercise, and then you can go out and perform. Same thing with what does this Bible also do? It gives you senses, right? Because that's going into the senses. start to have the ability to recognize things, start to have the ability to realize, oh, this conversation I don't be in. You realize this ain't people I need to get discernment, right? Bingo. All of that comes through. You don't figure that out there just willy-nilly. No, you figure that in here. You come in here, you learn, you seek, you get exercise, you get stretched out, you get whatever the case may be, and then you go out there. Bingo. You get tried here and you go out there and execute. It only happens if you do the Hebrews 5:14. This is why you got to be part of the camps to get it done.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 14. But strong, Hebrews chapter 5, verse 14. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age.
Right. Strong meat belongeth to them of full age. Time here. You don't just become, remember, one first thing we tell them, you don't come in here and you grown. You come in here as a baby. You got to drink this milk. Strong meat is for them who done came in here, they done endeavored, they done fought, they done went through the trials. They understand that, oh shit, it's good today, it might be hell tomorrow, but guess what? We got to find a way to make it heaven again tomorrow. This is what we do. The constant, I'm pissed off with your ass. Don't want to talk, I don't even want to see you. When you come in the door, I get mad again because and we go through the trial of exercising and figuring out you got to find a way to get rid of that shit and find a way to be happy as hell when you see that person. You got to figure out a way to work. We like all of that get exercised in here. Bingo. So it says, once we get to those points, now be able to tell it to them. We talking to them. Strong meats is for them. That's when we start understanding other things. Go ahead.
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Read it again.
But strong meat belongs to them that are of full age. Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
He said those that have Salaki, it's a piece I keep forgetting.
Even those who by reason of use.
By reason, there it is. By reason of use. They had to use those senses. What the hell did they get to do that at? In the congregation, amongst the brothers and sisters, how do you do? You gotta exercise that here. There's no way you ain't just gonna go out there and start executing it. You gotta come practice it here, because in here is where when you snap and you slip, we correct you and ain't no handcuffs come out. And here you snap, you get put in front of the door, cussed out, and brought back down to the reality of the damn. In here. Then you go out there and when somebody do something, scriptures fly off in your head, and then, instead of you popping their ass in the mouth like you would have did 4 or 5 years ago, I need to get away from this bitch. I need to get away from this nigga. You see what I'm saying? You those things, you know what I mean? But it starts here. So long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go back.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Mm-hmm. That we might have hope. That we might have hope. But first and foremost, what's going to come with this thing is that comfort. I got a little comfort understanding what's going on. Bad things used to happen. It was just anger and confusion. Now we understand things happening. Hey man, we gotta line up. We understand that hey, some things just gonna be temporary. We understand like the strength that's been built in here. It low key, it make me smile because come in, I could be going through something, I could be having a bad day, whatever, or something bad happened here, or whatever, right? And I could hear y'all like, hey, you gotta keep commandments. It's temporary. I could hear certain things, these trials they gonna come, but I can hear understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear there's not like a confused state. I don't know what the hell going on. Like what? No, here to strengthen the brothers and sisters here when y'all start instantly saying, hey man, keep commandments. This, blase blah. Hey, this happening because of blase. Like when you, that's that comfort in certain situations. When shit don't look good, I don't hear y'all over here trying to figure out what we finna go run the streets and do. What we finna evil, right, don't start flowing. Y'all instantly start saying, man, most high going. Even when I can hear it in your voice sometimes, you like, I can hear it in your voice. You thinking about it, you down on something, but you're like, man, most high going. Like that's that strength, that's that comfort. So the strength that be up in here, that's built in here, it also comes from comfort in the scriptures. So 15 and 4. I'm not gonna fix it. It's not Hebrews. Oh, like 11, something. I don't know. I don't want to tell you to pull something from if you're trying to pull it now. Give me because I want to touch another piece of it with comfort. Psalms 119, verse 50.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 50. Psalm chapter 119, verse 50. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened.
So it says my comfort in my affliction, that thy word has what?
Quickened.
Word changed me. Like it said in Romans 15, our comfort in the scriptures. David said the word comfort me.
So, it was like we read the scriptures, right? And then what it say about how the prophets will face a lot of moment. We read the scriptures about the prophets and all, they go through affliction and stuff like that. And then the Most High, he always made the way during a time of trouble and all. It said, so we talk about have all. It's not popular. We try to explain anything.
Let me see.
It was like he made a it was a question. It was like a question form that like how many of the prophets asked for something I didn't give.
Yeah.
That word, but
Yeah.
that's how it was. So I can't think of it, but that the paraphrase that what it was. I believe any of the prophets asked for something he haven't given.
And I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it in my head.
Yeah, but that's what that's why I was going to say when it comes to they say about patience and the comfort of the scripture. That's like I said, it might have hope because read that, and all the prophets got something for their patience. So and then it's all written here. As long as you endure, that you got a reward stored up place. But if you don't read that, then your time of affliction, you wouldn't want to endure. You wouldn't want to go through it. If you don't read Sirach 2, if you never read Sirach chapter 2, you will never know that you're supposed to prepare your mind for the shit that's to come.
Bingo. Because one of the most commonly spread lies is that you're gonna come into this thing and it's gonna be peaches and cream now. It's gonna be rose-colored glasses and you'll never have no trouble. But like you said, if you don't read Sirach, you don't even understand that the fight just literally began now. Right, because when you was in the world, you was a part of it, so you just went with the, you know what I'm saying? You was actually a part of what was making it go. Now you come into the truth, now you're going opposite. So now everything is coming against you while you trying to go back the other way. It's like, man, damn. It's like being a part of a tide current and then trying to jump out of it. Story times. I love the story time. So we did in Samson today. Samson led us into these splinter conversations, which is good story time. Also, I'm looking into joining Clubhouse soon. So, let's see what comes of that shortly. It's this new app. It's kind of popular what it is now. But it's like it's a verbal platform, really, from what I've seen so far. But I've only seen one person. Like I liked it because it was very active. The first group I went into, um, Judah them had made a page and they put a title up and it brought random people in ready to argue. And then but out of the random people that want to argue, two sisters basically done started following as if they gonna repent. So it was I forgot what it is. I forgot the name of the title, but it was something about like why do sisters hate each other, something like that. And of course, it brought in sisters ready to argue. But two sisters just some of the scriptures taught them. So, of course, we're still looking it out, mapping out, trying to figure out how it works. And it'd be cool because instead of people having to type in and answer, whatever they typing in pops up 10, 20 minutes after they done typed it, you just be able to speak it. Now, what I need to do is figure out, I'm going to try to figure out something this week, see if there's a mute system to it or anything like that, just in case we get some You know, the ones that won't let you get a word in. Once you come in, no, I'm trying to, no, you said that, you said that, you said that. Hold on, I'm trying to, stop. Just doesn't show. So we need a mute button. We're gonna need a mute button. You're gonna need a mute button. Let's see. You trying to get a word in, they keep saying no, 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 no. That's how they be though. So I have to put them out. We need a mute system. So if it ain't got a mute system, I might still try it just to see. But but now shut the hell up. Oh God. You know that's how y'all women be. Some of them women. Lord's will. You still pulling? Or you?
I can't find it.
Oh shoot. Okay, then go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. I don't know because I'm thinking this is probably what you're looking for, but I'm not sure because you said something about hope. Verse 10. Start at 10.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecution, affliction, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra,
Which is Turkey.
What persecution I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me.
Right. Out of every persecution Paul went through, the Lord delivered him.
Yeah. And all that will live godly. Yeah. Verse 12. Yeah. And all that will live godly in Christ shall suffer persecution.
All that will live godly and in Christ shall suffer persecution. So if you don't read the scriptures, you ain't gonna know that. So when this stuff start coming to you, it's strange. It ain't no God, because if it was a God, this wouldn't happen. When God just told you simple ass. They just told you simple ass was to be expected. I had to throw that in because Sister mentioned that's what they be doing nowadays. They quit to say no God as soon as something bad happens. We're sitting here reading, he destroying whole nations. And he'll be the part. He'll be the part. And I don't want y'all to think that we speaking evil on children. We just speak in the Bible and we giving examples of things. But here's the thing. You know, I know it's gonna sound funny. Not funny, but funny. We get mad at the Most High, or they get mad at the Most High about something that happens to children, a child, right? I know it's gonna sound funny. Most of the time most of the time we get mad at the Most High for something happening to a child that wasn't even created in the way that the Most High said acceptable children should be created. You know what I'm saying? Like, It'd be a child that was created out of all type of whoredom, fornication, adultery, whatever, some stuff like that. And then ain't being raised up in the laws, no way whatsoever, because the parents ain't nowhere near the laws. And then when a judgment comes down, we like, God wouldn't let that happen if he believed in, because Lord, like, just like when somebody else told me, oh, God ain't real, God ain't, something about God ain't real. And then if your God, he asked if your God was real, then why all this stuff? I said, hold on. Why are you asking me about, you saying, you blaming my God for stuff that happened in your life, but you don't believe in God? Well, you can't expect my God to defend you if he ain't your God. You don't believe in, it's like you don't believe in it. You don't believe in God, but then you mad at God because something happened. Like, how was he supposed to? He was your God to begin with. You remember you said that. I just don't. God wouldn't allow that to happen. Did that person? Did they believe that? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I don't need to believe him. I don't need to do what he say, but he needs to protect me and show you real. Mhm. Mhm. That's just like Lil Boosie, right? When he had the video, somebody, God could stand right in front of him and tell him not to eat that pork. And he said he shot a middle finger and said, I'm gonna eat my damn pork. But then some shit, man, God, I mean, God, man, don't call on God now. Yeah, you screaming for God in the jail cell for. So, Lord's will, we have you with us again next week. If we be here next week, Lord's will. For y'all to see this. Shalom, most high in Christ. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Shalom. I ain't say Sean, I said Shalom. Most high in Christ. Most high in Christ. Most high in Christ. Most high in Christ. Shalom. Hour.